Cyberpunk 2077 is getting a massive multiplayer mode you can play very soon. It's not what you guys are thinking though, okay? This is coming to us guys from Gaming Bible and the folks over there. Projekt Red may be done with post-launch content and support for Cyberpunk 2077, but that doesn't mean the fun is over. In fact, judging by this mod, the party is just about to begin. This is coming to us from Kate Harold over at Gaming Bible, guys. Cyberpunk 2077 players on PC will soon be able to dive into a massive new multiplayer mode with up to 20 players featuring PvP deathmatches, races, and more. This project has been in the works for several years and comes courtesy of modder Singer. I'm gonna call him Singer. Aptly titled CyberMP, the mod aims to restore the multiplayer component of Cyberpunk 2077 that CD Projekt Red devs decided to cut. I should say that this mod won't let you co-op story missions, but there are still plenty of activities to get involved with alongside friends or chums you make online. Players will be able to battle it out in PvP death matches, putting your perks and combat skills to the test. The mod's creator has also shown off huge vehicle races taking place across Night City. So a couple of things here. The first one, guys, is I really do think it is a shame that CD Projekt Red, I give them a lot of credit for bringing Cyberpunk 2077 from the absolute depths of despair to where it is now. I believe it's one of the greatest comebacks, if not the greatest comeback I've ever seen in video game history. You know, I would say they're probably number one, and then No Man's Sky is probably number two. The only difference, though, is that No Man's Sky is still getting a lot of updates, so we got to keep that in mind. But CD Projekt Red has done an incredible job, and I got to thank and give a massive shout out to the folks over at CD Projekt Red for that. Absolutely incredible. If you believe in your IP, you believe in your product, and you put the time and effort listening to the community and update the game to get it to a stable place, man, look at what it's done. And now, you know, Cyberpunk is off to the races, especially with what's coming with Cyberpunk Orion, which is going to be the continuation or the sequel. But that being said, I think that this multiplayer mode should be done by CD Projekt Red. Okay, it should not be a modder doing this. They should have already done this, because as they were building, you know, from the foundation once again, they cut the multiplayer experience to really focus on the main game to get it right. They did. So, and Phantom Liberty sold very well. So the fact that they didn't go back to doing the multiplayer is, like I said, I think it's a really big missed opportunity for them. That being said, though, this modder has been working on this for a couple of years, and it's awesome that he's been working on this, and I think it's going to be something really special. I really do. From what we've seen so far about it, I think it could be really, really cool for sure. It'll be interesting to see whether a multiplayer component is added into Cyberpunk 2077 sequel, Projekt Orion. Personally, I'm not convinced it's needed in a mainline entry, but I suppose we'll find out eventually. In a mod though, why not? You can take a look at CyberMP's latest update. I 1000% disagree with that statement that was put there, where it says, personally, I'm not convinced it's needed in a mainline entry, but I suppose we'll find out eventually. Totally disagree with that, and here's why. Couple of things. Number one, a multiplayer component of any game, okay, is very important for a number of reasons. Okay, you don't want to take away from the main campaign story, the story mode. You do not want to take away from that. And I'm not going to take away anything from that, because Cyberpunk 2077, like I said, in my personal opinion, is one of the best games ever made. But that being said, could it be even better if you had a multiplayer experience to go along with it? I think if it's done right, absolutely. Number two, though, is when I think about these types of games, like, you know, even GTA and games that are like these open world scenarios, once you beat the campaign, what happens? Okay, maybe you play the campaign another time, but at the same time, maybe, just maybe, you move on to other games, which is usually what happens. Unless you love the story and you just pour everything you've got into that story. You want to go after all the achievements. You want to beat it in a multitude of different ways. You know, figure out different timelines and different things that happen within the story if you make different decisions. But the multiplayer experience brings you back to the game over and over again, especially if it's done well. So the sentiment that it doesn't need a multiplayer, totally, I think it's completely wrong. I think a GTA 6, what would GTA 6 be if there wasn't an online experience to go along with it? People are going to be pouring everything they've got into GTA 6 when it releases. But to say that you're going to just play the campaign and then you're going to just keep playing the campaign, or are you going to go and play something else after a while? See, guys, I think it's really important, no matter how big the game is, and I know that there's games like Elden Ring that are out there that get multiple playthroughs and things of that nature, but ultimately with single-player stories and single-player games, even co-op games, after a few runs, you might move on to another game because multiplayer keeps you integrated into that world. It keeps you, coming back for more over and over again. Think of Call of Duty. What would Call of Duty be without a multiplayer if you just had the story mode? And say that story mode had co-op. Awesome, dude. But after it's done, you're going to move on to the next game. You're going to maybe go to Battlefield. You're maybe going to go to something totally different because, well, there's nothing else to do in the Call of Duty game. So what I'm saying is that multiplayer plays an integral part of building a massive fan base, but a repetitive fan base that comes back for more consistently. So I totally believe that a multiplayer experience should happen for Project Orion. A closed beta test was held to help Stinger identify any issues, with the modder now working to prepare a pre-alpha version. With this in mind, CyberMP is a short way off from full launch, but it's certainly racing towards the finish line. As reported by GamesRadar, fellow YouTuber Juicehead is one of those who took part in the beta. The content creator praised the mod, saying it worked shockingly well. That is for sure a promising start. The main issue raised surrounded the stiff animations of fellow players, which I'd imagine Stinger is now working on improving. It's awesome that, and I got to give a massive shout out to Stinger for putting this mod together, spending years putting this mod together for Cyberpunk 2077. And I'm really excited about it. I really am. I think it could be something, really special for people to, go to while they're waiting for the next, Cyberpunk title to release, that being Cyberpunk Orion. And I'll give you guys more information as it comes out, guys. Obviously, hopefully we can get our hands on the mod and play it. But in the meantime, if you have not played Cyberpunk 2077 or the expansion Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty, go get it, guys. It is worth the playthrough. It is incredible. An unbelievable story, great characters, peaks, valleys. I mean, CD Projekt Red are one of the best in the business. Go check it out.